Today's real incident was shared with us by Jaya, who is from Lucknow. This video is very special because it contains some things that you really need to learn. I mean, while you may have learned a lot in life already, while making this video, I had just one thing in mind, to convey through this video that the relationships you consider your own might not be the same anymore. What I'm trying to say is that the days when we blindly trusted our loved ones are over. Jaya shared an incident with me, and as she continued with her story, I was getting more and more shocked. Anyway, let's get straight to the story. Jaya, who was born in Lucknow, had a house belonging to her father, a house belonging to her uncle, and another one that belonged to her grandfather. However, due to business and work, they had settled far away from Lucknow. Welcome to Horror Stories. I'm Ankur Pundit, and on this channel, I bring you real-life paranormal incidents and activities shared by those who have experienced them firsthand. Your comments are our motivation, so please keep them coming. Now let's resume back to story. Jaya mentioned that in 2020, she visited her hometown near Lucknow and went to her father's house. She said it had been a long time since anyone had been to that house, and there had been no prayers or rituals performed there because the house was completely shut. The key to the house was with a relative whose name she didn't mention. So, you might guess that if this is going to be a horror incident and the key was with a relative, perhaps there was a hand of someone close behind it. Jaya told me that when she went to her hometown near Lucknow and entered the house, she was the first woman to step into the house after a long time. She mentioned that it was the day of Holika Dahan, just before the COVID pandemic hit in 2020. Jaya said, "Ankur brother, I've always been a very fun-loving girl. I never restricted myself from enjoying life, but after entering that house, which we hadn't visited for a long time, my nature changed within hours." She mentioned that while everyone else had gone out to celebrate Holika Dahan, she suddenly didn't feel like going. She stayed alone in the house, and there was no electricity. She said she was lying on the bed, looking at a lamp that was burning in front of her, with just a little oil left in it. Jaya explained that she started feeling very low. She had earlier shared that she loved to enjoy life and never missed a celebration, but on that particular day, during Holika Dahan, when everyone was out celebrating, she felt extremely lonely and low. She didn't pay much attention to it at the time. When her family members returned, they asked her to have dinner, but she refused, saying, "I'm not hungry, you all eat." Everyone finished dinner, and Jaya went to bed. The next morning, when Jaya woke up, she was feeling extremely unwell. Whenever anyone tried to talk to her, she would react angrily, especially toward her mother, which she regrets to this day. Jaya told me, "Ankur brother, whenever my mom tried to ask me if I was okay or if something was wrong, I would give her strange responses, telling her to stay away, that I didn't want to eat, or to leave me alone." Jaya's reactions were so strange that her family was bewildered, wondering what had happened to her in just one day. When Jaya's health worsened, her family thought of taking her to the hospital. However, since this was during the early days of the COVID pandemic in March, hospitals were overwhelmed. So they called a doctor home. The doctor ran some tests and said that her health was perfectly fine, and that maybe she was just exhausted from traveling or stressed out. The family thought it was just normal irritability and that she would recover soon. But Jaya's condition kept deteriorating, so the doctor was called again. This time, she was put on an 4-drip. After the drip, Jaya somehow fell asleep, and the whole night passed with her on the drip. The next day, when Jaya woke up, the drip was still in place, and she was told to stay away from water. But suddenly, Jaya got up, went straight to the bathroom, and poured a bucket of water over herself. I was shocked when she told me this, thinking how could someone do something that they were explicitly told not to do because it would harm their health? Yet, Jaya dumped a bucket of water on herself. Her family was shocked, and her mother realized this wasn't normal. There was something else going on, perhaps a supernatural force. They called a known priest. When the priest arrived and saw Jaya, he immediately said that something was possessing her. He said he would return in the evening with holy water, and if Jaya reacted, they would know if there was really something supernatural going on or not. Until then, Jaya's behavior remained the same. She wasn't talking properly to anyone. As soon as the priest gave water to Jaya, she started screaming like crazy, as if another spirit inside her began speaking, saying, I won't leave this body. Get Shanti out of here." She started rolling around on her bed in circles, and seeing this, Jaya's family was terrified. Their last hope was the priest because he was witnessing everything, and Jaya was screaming in different voices, saying, "Send them away. I will kill everyone. I won't leave this body." Suddenly, Jaya's behavior changed, and she tried to jump off the bed and run outside. Her father caught her just in time. When they laid her back on the bed, Jaya rested her head and feet, but her torso lifted into the air. You might find this as bizarre as I did hearing it. We often see such things in documentaries, movies, or films, but I get videos like this frequently. Her head and feet were touching the bed, but her midsection was in the air. Seeing this, everyone in the family had tears in their eyes, wondering what had suddenly happened to their daughter, who was as delicate as a flower. The priest somehow tried to calm her down, and it seemed as though, with the increasing pressure of prayers and chanting the name of God, something left her body, and Jaya collapsed onto the bed, completely exhausted. Then, Jaya saw a 6-foot-tall figure standing at the door that appeared to be a female. Jaya kept screaming, "She's standing there! She's standing there! She'll kill me! Mommy, I can see her! Daddy, I can see her!" Everyone was looking at Jaya, confused about what she was seeing. The priest confirmed that someone had performed a black magic ritual on the house. Jaya fainted, and the priest explained that someone close to the family had done this, but he didn't reveal the name. The priest performed rituals and said to check the gap above the bathroom. There, they found 2 long metal rods wrapped in red cloth, along with some strange materials like kumkum and other ritualistic items. These had been placed there as part of some black magic. They also found a piece of paper under the bed with some strange mantras written in an unknown script, which had caused Jaya to be possessed. The person responsible for the black magic was someone close to the family, and their name came to light. But the question was, why? When I spoke to Jaya, she told me, "Uncle brother, actually, my uncle's daughter-in-law had committed suicide in that house some time ago, and it was her spirit that possessed me. Before I arrived, her spirit used to roam around the neighboring house. But after the people there performed a purification ritual and sealed their house, someone left the spirit in our house. It's a deep thought as to why someone close would do such a thing. Perhaps they were envious of how well we were living, or they were jealous of our progress, or maybe it was something beyond our understanding." Jaya said at the end of the call, "Uncle brother, if I want to give a message through this video, it would be this: never blindly trust anyone, especially those close to you. In today's world, others have no genuine concern for you. Envy or jealousy can build up in people when they see you succeeding or living a good life, and they will think of ways to bring you down." Later, Jaya recovered and was completely fine. The spirit was removed from her, but it took her at least 2 to 3 months to fully recover. During that time, she would have terrible nightmares and constantly feel haunted. She was never left alone during those months. She was her family's most cherished child, and it was for that reason she had been targeted, because hurting such an innocent girl would cause her family immense pain. Jaya gave me the full details, and I'm going to play her recording for you in a bit. You'll hear her seriously recounting her experience. Imagine being possessed to the point where every time Jaya saw the temple, she would tell her parents, "Close that temple. I don't want to see it open." Friends, when something like this happens to you, as I've mentioned in my earlier videos, you are no longer in control of your senses, and everyone around you appears like an enemy. Today, Jaya is completely fine. Key learning: 1. Beware of blind trust. The story emphasizes the dangers of blindly trusting even close relatives or friends. Jealousy and hidden resentment can drive people to harm you in unexpected ways. 2. Power of spirituality. Rituals, prayers, and belief in a higher power played a crucial role in freeing Jaya from the possession, highlighting the importance of faith and spiritual intervention in times of crisis. 3. Impact of negative energy. Negative energies, whether in the form of black magic or evil spirits, can affect not just the individual but their entire family, causing emotional and physical harm. For mental and emotional vulnerability, Jaya's experience shows how vulnerable we can become when exposed to negative influences, leading to changes in behavior, mood, and even our health. 5. Jealousy can lead to malicious actions. The story is a reminder that envy or jealousy from others, even those close to you, can manifest in dangerous ways, urging caution in relationships. These key takeaways highlight the importance of caution, faith, and vigilance in life, especially when faced with unseen threats. Finally, before leaving, I request you all to please support my channel. Subscribe Horror Stories and turn on the bell notification so you get the latest video updates first. Stay tuned to the channel until the next video. Thank you.